Hello, YouTube. It's been so long. I am sorry things has had to happen, but I am back and I am bringing you yet another Pokemon Showdown, the Lost Episodes episode video. Let me just hit resume, alright? Alright, so it's up against Nero's Nawa and myself. Sends out the Charizard. I go for the Excelgor and I think no. So I'm going to go to Girafarig. The Flamethrower is going to do more than half. And I'm like, well, darn it. Even with leftovers. And an Air Slash, probably going to flinch me. Nope. I hit Charizard with a Thunder Wave. So I can at least do something before Girafarig goes to Zoo Heaven. And I hit it with a Psychic. And it gets paralyzed. And I'm like, yes. Yes, just some more damage, please. Hit it with another Psychic. I'm hoping for another Para Hack, but I don't. I get Para Slashed, or just Air Slashed, I should say. Then I'm going to go to Hidden Power of Celigor. I do believe it was Rock, or something like that, and can kill Charizard that way. That was my plan. It's going to send out Machamp. I'm going to yawn at it. It's going to hit me with Ice Punch, and I'm like, ow. That's totally fine. I'm going to hit you with Giga Drain, with a boosted Grass Gem, and it's going to do alright. I'm going to get hit with a Nice Punch again. But the Machamp is going to go to sleep, which is what I wanted. Or so I thought. He sends out a Snorlax, and I'm like, well, if I'm going to die, I'm going to drain you. I'm going to drain you, get inside your brain, I'm going to pain you. But he pains me with a Pursuit, and so Silgor is officially dead. I send out a Skuntank on my air balloon. And I hit it with a Pursuit thinking it was going to switch out, but no, it's going to hit me with a Fire Punch and pop my balloon. And I'm like, my balloon! You gonna die today! And so I hit with a Sucker Punch, do just a little bit more damage, hit me with a Pursuit that is resisted. And I'm thinking, probably thought it was going to switch out because bulky Snorlax, but I was not. And my Sucker Punch doesn't do anything because I get Whirlwind out into Cornflakes, Venusaur. And I'm going to hit him with a Leech Seed. Hit him with Pursuit, that was going to switch out. Nope, Cornflakes is going to stay in here because Cornflakes he just does that. Hit him with an Earthquake. This thing's just bouncing off this Snorlax incredible belly. This huge belly. I'm just like, darn it. It's gotta be a way to pierce that thick fat. Reference? Nah, no, it's gonna switch out, and I'm like, darn it. It's gonna Leech Seed kill it. But Kyurem White. I'm just like, okay. Can't even say Kyurem. I switch out into Chansey. So I'm like, well, I'm going to eat an Ice Beam. And I get some more Freeze Hacks. And I am just loving existence. Give me the Focus Blast. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to chill with this Chansey because nothing wants to take those moves. Well, I mean, they could, but I guess I wasn't thinking that they could. Or I did. And Skuntank just takes that Focus Blast. And I just go for the Sucker Punch because I know it's going to kill me with Earth Power. And that's this Kyurem. I always get these things. I sent a Wooper because, well, why not? Just why not? Hit that Golett with a Toxic, and I'm like, not the thing I wanted. It's going to send out its Stealth Rocks, and I'm like, okay, what about a Scald for you? It's going to hit it. It's going to do great. Some great damage. I really wanted that Toxic on that Kyurem, though. Came me with Dynamic Punch, I'm going to be confused. And I'm like, this battle's just not doing anything right. Why? I have to switch out Wooper, go into Venusaur. Because if you get me with Dynamic Punch, at least I can eat it. But I get confused, and it's alright. Toxic kills it. Waiting for Poison does another fantastical thing. It's going to send out Kyurem White again, and I'm like, nope. I'm going to go into Chansey. And it's going to eat a Focus Blast. Not so well, get a Spidif drop. So I'm just like, fine, I just can't. No one's here to nurse Chansey's wounds. Chansey is the nurse. But I get Toxic on it, and no one's going to help that Kyurem. No, not even me. And so I'm just hoping somehow I can just get Toxic to just kill it. Please, please, Toxic. I'm waiting for Poison again. So I think I just stall because Focus Blast is just going to miss. And I'm just going to hit Seismic Toss because I can. How does Chansey even use Seismic Toss with those tiny arms on a Kyurem White? Like, oh, and shoot, and I forget it has a Roost as well. So I'm just saying, like, Poison, please, Please poison. But he switches it out, goes into Snorlax, and I'm like, dang it. I hit that Snorlax with a seismic toss, just bounces off of it, but now I'm like, shoot, I forgot about this thing. Another seismic toss. It's gonna whirlwind me out into Venusaur, my cornflakes, I should actually say. I'm like, you know what? Cornflakes? You can go and eat that thing, cornflakes, with an earthquake. Eat it with an earthquake. It's the earth ate it. Thank goodness. At least I don't have to worry about that. Snorlax. Forever now. But Kyurem White's gonna make me switch into Chansey. And I'm just like, yes, keep missing your Focus Blast. Focus Blast sucks. When you need it to hit, it never does. When you don't need it, it hits everything. At least that's how it is for me anyway. And I'm going to protect that Ice Beam. It's not going to hurt me. And I'm just waiting for Toxic to do its thing again. I get hit with Ice Beam. Hope for no Freeze Hacks, and I don't get it. Hit it with a Seismic Toss, because you know how that game is. I am just trying to wait and wait. And it's gonna roost, and I'm like, alrighty, sure. You do that roost, and I'm gonna do my protects, and we're all gonna be happy. Hit me with some more Ice Beam, no hacks, Seismic Toss. This is pretty much how the entire battle goes for right now, until I can wear out that Kyurem. This is just how you have to play. I know people would hate me. I think Nero's Nawa hated me at the end of this, but it's just how I had to play it. But he's gonna go into Machamp, his sleeping Machamp, and I'm like, fine. I'll hit it with a few seismic tosses with my stubby arms. Try to just lift that thing and just slam it over and over again into the ground while it's asleep, which is probably a terrible way to go now that I think about it. But who cares? I kill it that way, and Machamp is gone. So I'm just sitting here waiting. Oh, and he pulls out the Suicune, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is just great. 2 legendaries. I'm going to poison them both. And this is how things will just have to be. I am sorry. Protect. Roar. No, I am not going anywhere. Maybe Roar can just send me out in the cornflakes so I can do more damage. But I'm going to have to see. I do Seismic Toss. I get roared into Wooper. And I'm like, why? Just why? Fine then. I'm immune to whatever hidden power he was using, and I crit Quake him. And that is the end of that Suicune. I just got lucky. And he forfeits as well. Because he's like, really? Is this really how you're going to do this to me, Biscuit? And I'm like, I am sorry. I am sorry that I had to use the Toxic game again. But it just has to happen sometimes. I just got lucky and survived. But that is the end of this little video that I found. And there's going to be more on the way. I'm probably going to be streaming them one after the other. So if I mess up like I did right now throughout this entire video, well, just stick with me, dang it. Please, just stay there and stick with me. But I'm going on to the next one. You guys take care, stay beastly, and remember,
derpity derp 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 derp